Hi, welcome back. We're going to be working on transitions again. And this transition is moving from downward dog into forward bend in a jump style. Now, I want to caution you that when you're jumping in yoga, you're not jumping in yoga. This is really about the fascial system in the body and understanding the core in the body. So a lot of times people are trying to get themselves from down dog into forward bend or vice versa, and they're trying to power and muster through with their shoulders. And I gotta be honest, a transition like that is going to eventually land you up with an injury. If not now, probably sooner than later. So just taking a little bit of time to understand the body, and then also taking the time necessary for you to really be able to prep yourself with a little bit extra work so that you can successfully work with these movements and really feel positive and empowered about how it is that you're moving on your mat. Not just in the pose, but getting from pose A to pose B. All right, so we're going to come into downward facing dog. Bend the elbows, folds of the elbows forward, nice deep breath in. And then exhaling, moving up and back, releasing the neck. Nice deep breath in here, bend your knees. And I just want you to consider right now jumping your legs up off the floor in a little bit of what I call donkey kicks. So just that little bit of spring action is really kind of the preparation for you being able to jump forward. Notice if when you're jumping, you're really clunky when your legs come up and down. Your calves are kind of like the hydraulic pumps for you to be able to spring. So if you have really tight calves, I'm going to really suggest that you go back to some of that calf work with the half dome as kind of a pre-stretch or a warm-up to really feel more effective in this type of a pose in order for you to be able to spring from one pose to the next. So if your springs don't work, how can you use the pogo stick? So this is definitely applying to this. Also things like foam rolling and myofascial release really assist in your body to be able to move more pliable and elastic-like versus feeling like you're stuck in saran wrap. So that's also something to be considering and really pay attention to if you struggle with these jump transitions. All right, so we're back in down dog. So starting point A is just practicing when you jump, okay, I'm starting with bent knees, coming up with bent knees, and coming down with bent knees. So I'm absorbing into that shock versus resisting it. A lot of people try to jump with straight legs, and notice how my hips are kind of almost coming to the heels when I do that jump. So again, nice deep breath in, and exhale, inhale, pelvic core contracts, exhale. So now if I want to jump forward, little bend in the elbows, look forward because your head's going to balance your body. Inhale, hips high, and exhale into forward bend. So let's try that again. Step back. Nice deep breath in. Your pelvic core contracts. So I'm using my pelvic floor. I'm using my deep core. Inhale. And at the edge of the exhale, hips come high and legs come forward. If you feel like, gosh, Hope, I just can't do that, that's okay. So this is not a prerequisite. And I think a lot of people struggle with poses or flows, especially in the vinyasa or sun sail class, because the teacher is teaching these jump transitions, but never really teaching the hows and the whys behind how it happens. And so they just struggle and they feel really defeated. So one of the things I want to encourage you to do to help assist improving the likelihood of you getting into those jump transitions are one, the calf release. You need to release your calves. Most of us have super restricted calves. That's the hydraulic pump for your body in that jump. Two, really focus on using your pelvic core. Just before you transition, those pelvic core muscles hug to help carry you for liftoff when you come to that forward bend. And three, myofascial release. The netting for our body, what holds our bones and muscles in place. If it's like plastic, what do we know about plastic? It's not pliable, it's not bouncy, okay? We really want to think about rubber or elastic. That's what we're looking to be like. So rolling out the lower body can be a really great practice as well with a soft foam roller. Okay, so now I'm looking to go from forward bend into plank, let's say. So one thing we want to be mindful of in forward bend to plank is where people also kind of go wrong is they jump into stiff arms. You need to have a bend in your elbow or your shoulders take a lot of that pressure. So although I have long arms, you're going to need to bend your knees. So notice how I'm starting with bent knees. Inhaling, I'm in forward bend. Exhale, bend your knees. Your hands are far enough forward that you can lean forward into your arms. Almost like you're going to consider an arm balance. Crow pose maybe. Okay? So there's that connection. I'm hugging up on my deep core. So on my pelvic floor, on my transversus, on my rectus, just like you would do the most intense sit-up or a crow pose, holding and hugging from here. This is so important. So many people, again, try to power with their upper body, even in arm balances. You are so far away from those core muscles. This is, again, where injury ends up. You need to be here first in order to lighten the load here. Okay, so bend the knees. Inhale, lean into the arms with bent elbows. Fold to the elbows forward so you're not overusing the pecs. Inhale. And now exhale, I'm bending my knees. There's my pogo stick. Pelvic core contracts like a spring now going horizontal. Exhale, bringing it back into plank. Notice how I have bent elbows. Okay? So when I jump back, I'm not locking myself into my upper body when I jump back into plank. Let's try it again. Inhale, pelvic core contracts, lean into your upper body, elbows are bent, and then allow the arms to lengthen into plank. You can also jump back into downward facing dog. So inhale, lean and bend. Exhale, jump back into down dog. So my knees are going to bend, and right as I'm coming back, I'm going right into that triangle shape. There is literally no pressure on the shoulders with that jump transition. Let's try it again. Exhale, pelvic core, take it back. Downward facing dog. Nice job. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Core contracts. Core contracts. And then bring it to the floor. So I want to encourage you again, if you're new to yoga, if you're a beginner in yoga, we're all beginners, but if you're just kind of new to some of this, do not feel threatened or do not feel pressured to be doing these style of transitions. This takes a lot of core understanding, okay? Deep core, not just what many of us feel like is core work, pelvic floor, transversus, that combination of the two, and an understanding of your fascial system. So I really want to encourage you to do the pre-steps to something like this in order for you to feel comfortable and confident to actually do the jump forward and the jump back without ending up really over kind of internally rotating the arms or locking out the arms. You should not be feeling any sort of abruptness. The jumps should be quiet. They should be smooth. And if you feel a lot of clunkiness going on, your body is really not ready for that transition yet. So some prep work, calf release, rolling, donkey kicks. Those are all really great practices to help you prep into those movements so that they move swiftly. They are a pose all in themselves. And as we get to that place, you're going to feel a lot more successful if you just take those couple little prep times to really get yourself more in your body. All right. Good luck with the practice. Great.